WDAM-7 First Alert Weather. Repairing the Pinebelt.
Welcome back. There are several things to think about when dealing with any type of storm. To break it down, we'll talk about what to do before, during, and after the storm. First off, be weather ready. Check the forecast often, particularly when severe weather is possible. Have your NOAA weather radio handy and programmed correctly. And also, download the WDAM weather app. Rex is here to tell you how.
Start by downloading the WDAM weather app for Apple and Android devices. If you want to receive notifications when there are warnings in your area, click Yes. Next, it will ask you to set your location. In order to receive warnings for your area, you will need to click Yes so the app can use your GPS to give the most accurate results. After that, you'll be asked to pinpoint your location by dragging a thumbtack to your town. Once you have placed the pin in your area, you will click Done. Double-check your settings by clicking the three lines in the top left-hand corner of the screen. Click the Settings option in the app to make sure your alerts are turned on. Once you complete these steps, you will be alerted in real time to any weather threats in your area.
And the next thing you need to do to prepare for severe weather, create that plan. Have a family plan that includes an emergency meeting place. Pick a safe room in your house, such as a basement or a storm cellar, or that interior room that we always talk about on the lowest floor with no windows. Practice that plan by running a severe weather drill with your family. Make sure everybody knows what to do, where to go, and prepare your home by keeping trees and branches trimmed. And when a watch is issued, secure those loose objects outside, close the windows and doors, and move valuable objects inside or underneath a sturdy structure. Last but not least, don't forget about your neighbors. Help them out when severe weather is possible as well. Now, during the storm, it's important to know the difference between a watch and a warning. And here's how to distinguish between the two.
There are quite a few weather alerts that we discuss during any kind of severe weather event, and we understand that this at times can cause a lot of confusion when multiple watches and warnings are issued for parts of the Pinebelt.
A watch, whether it's a tornado watch or a severe thunderstorm watch, means that conditions are favorable in a broad area for severe weather to develop.
A severe thunderstorm is defined as a storm capable of producing winds in excess of 58 miles an hour and or hail that is quarter-sized or larger.
But the watch is to kind of keep a watch out for it, and it may last for 5 or 6 hours or even sometimes get extended to be longer, so that basically you're on guard for what's coming up.
A warning requires immediate action and is more serious.
A warning is a meteorologist is watching the radar combined with maybe some spotter information, and we feel like from that information that something severe, dangerous to people's lives is occurring or about to occur.
When tornadoes are possible,
we're looking for, one is a storm have a structure that may produce possibly a tornado, and we actually have what Doppler radar means is you're seeing the velocity within the storm. So if there's a tornado that's spinning, you're going to see winds blowing one way and right next to it winds blowing the other way.
Although both watches and warnings should be taken seriously, a tornado warning means that a life-threatening situation is close at hand.
Well, first thing, we don't wait for it to be on the ground. That's too late. And so our philosophy is to try to get lead time on it. And when you try to get lead time on it, you're taking a chance that it may not actually touch down. And we would rather have a little bit of a false alarm issue than miss a tornado, because nobody dies in a false alarm. People may die if you miss a tornado warning. That's kind of our philosophy.
Make sure all members of your family know the difference between a watch and a warning, and make sure you've got a severe weather plan in place.
And take some time this weekend, sit down with your family and make sure they know what the plan is and make sure you know what to do when severe weather strikes. And while most people are worried about tornadoes during severe weather, there are other types of severe weather to be aware of. For one, flash flooding. In fact, flash flooding is the #1 cause of death associated with thunderstorms. Over half of all flood-related drownings occur when someone drives their car into flood waters, and it only takes 6 inches of moving water to sweep a person off their feet. Just a foot of rushing water can carry away a car. Remember, it's never safe to drive or walk into flood waters. Another threat, lightning. It strikes the United States about 25 million times a year. Each strike 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. It kills roughly 30 people and injures hundreds more every year. A good rule to remember is that if you're close enough to hear thunder, you can get struck by lightning. So when thunder roars, head indoors. Straight line wind, that's non-tornadic wind, can happen in any thunderstorm. As cold air is rushing out of the bottom of a storm, it hits the ground. It's got nowhere else to go but out. Wind speeds can approach 125 miles an hour in the strongest storms and be just as destructive as a tornado. A thunderstorm, as you heard, is classified severe when that wind exceeds 58 miles an hour. Another way to tell if a storm's severe: hail. It's also created in every thunderstorm. Hailstones can reach up to the size of baseballs or even larger in Mississippi. The last large hail event that we had was in Purvis. Baseball hail fell across parts of Lamar County. A thunderstorm, as you heard, classified severe when stones reach quarters or bigger. But we know that most folks are most concerned about tornadoes, so while you're trying to ride out that tornado-warned storm, here are a few extra steps you can take to protect yourself. The National Weather Service will only issue a tornado warning if a tornado is reported or if Doppler radar indicates that one is likely on the ground. Tornado warnings should be taken very seriously as storms can intensify rapidly.
You can have a situation where one storm looks a certain way, produces a big tornado. The very next one looks even worse sometimes, never produces a tornado. So there's just a huge challenge of whether it's going to touch down or not. But we don't take chances. Our philosophy is if we feel it could produce a tornado, we issue a tornado warning.
Now, the safest place to be is a basement or a safe room. But if that's not an option, get to an interior room on the lowest level of a sturdy building. Interior closets or bathrooms are often the best places to be. Make sure you protect your head with pillows, blankets, or even helmets. Always be aware that flying debris is possible, and remember that mobile homes are not safe during tornadoes. If you're in one and have time, immediately get to the nearest sturdy building or shelter.
With a watch, we want people to be prepared to take action when severe weather comes. So that means kind of staying close to home and staying close to shelter. With a warning, we want you to actually take action. There's immediate threat of severe weather, and we want people to practice their severe weather plans.
We will break into regular programming if a tornado warning is issued for our area. We'll do our best to give you as much advanced warning on where the storm is headed and how long until it reaches the next town. We will remain on the air until that storm moves out of our area or weakens and is no longer an imminent threat.
Any second that you have, you should spend preparing and seeking shelter.
If you're outside when a tornado warning is issued, there isn't really one solution. You'll have to decide which option is best for your particular situation.
Kind of a judgment call. Assess your surroundings.
Always remember, the safest place if a tornado is moving toward you is inside. And while you're inside, turn the TV on to get the latest information about that storm. One way we get that information to you is with LiveWire. The system lets us alert you on screen with information about advisories, watches, warnings without breaking into your favorite shows. If a weather advisory, watch, or warning is issued, a map of the Pinebelt with the radar will appear in the lower left-hand corner of your TV. Text with useful information about the current severe weather will also scroll across the screen. This will let you know what is happening and which counties or towns will be affected. The only time we'll cut into programming already in progress is during a tornado warning, a hurricane warning, or a flash flood emergency. At that point, it's our responsibility to warn you with more than just a picture and some text that your life is in danger.
At the end of the day, our main goal here at WDAM is to keep you safe and informed and to, hopefully save your life and property from all kinds of severe weather, whether it's a winter storm or a blizzard to a big tornado coming through. We're always here. We don't sleep. That's what we get paid to do.
The ultimate goal, in my personal opinion, is to save lives and to give the best information we can to protect lives and property.
We'll do everything within our power to make sure your family is safe. Now that you know how we put together a forecast and what are we looking at for the spring, I know you want to know. A seasonal forecast is up next right after this break. Stick around.